let's go ahead and start with drafting plate B3. Step number 1, again, just like always, please make sure that you square up off of this top title block line. You want to make sure you're squared up there. Okay. Next, you want to move your T-square down, and on the given marks in the title block, you want to draw your guidelines. Then you want to bring out drafting plate number 2, and you want to fill the title block in exactly like that. So you want to write the word scale full. This time you're even going to have to put the title in the middle, use of instruments. It's the same stuff, so make sure that you put in use of instruments. Okay, when you get that all done, what you're going to do is you're going to follow the directions in the exercise up here. What it says we're going to do first is we're going to reproduce this brick pattern in a 4-inch square below. We're going to locate the corner of that square in the position indicated. That would be here, the lower left-hand corner, A and A. We're going to match up those A's. Okay? Then we're going to divide A through B into 3 equal parts, A, C into 9 equal parts, and then complete the figure using visible lines. We know what visible lines are. They're nice dark lines. So step number 1, all I'm going to do is from point A, I'm going to measure over 4 inches, and I'm going to make a tiny mark there. And then I'm going to measure up from point A 4 inches, and I'm going to make a tiny mark there. And all I have to do, I'm going to draw a visible horizontal line there. Don't worry if you draw a little over. You can use your eraser shield to clean things up. And I'm going to draw my vertical line here up to or past my point. And all I have to do is come up to my mark that I made, and I'm going to draw another horizontal line. I measured up 4 inches. I'm going to draw a horizontal line here. Then I'm going to come in with my last vertical line there, and I've completed my 4-inch square. Then you can use your eraser shield, and you can come in and clean those corners up nice and clean. Use your eraser shield, clean them up, and there you have your 4-inch square. Down here and clean this corner up just a little bit. We don't want that rough edge there. So there we have our 4-inch square. Okay, before we go on and complete the dividing it up for the brick patterns, let's go on over here in this edge, because we're going to do the same kind of thing. We're going to construct a 4-inch square using this D point is the lower left hand part of our square. So let's go ahead and take our scale again. We're going to lay out a 4-inch mark here, so we'll come out that far, and we'll lay out a 4-inch mark on the vertical. We'll go there, and we'll do the exact same thing. We'll line up on our line, and we'll draw a line to there, and we'll line up on the vertical. Make sure you keep the head of that T-square in tight on that metal band. We're going to come up and we're going to draw a vertical line there. Let's go ahead and slide it over and draw this vertical line. Oops. Finish off this vertical line. And then we'll slide our T-square up and finish off that horizontal line. And then again, erase all the extra, clean it up. Remember, I'm grading you on neatness, so let's clean it up. Alright, we have our two 4-inch squares. Okay, before we go into the division of this square and make our brick patterns, let's go ahead and lay out the individuals over here. I count 4 horizontal and 4 vertical smaller squares. If I divide that 4 into a 4-inch square, it's obviously going to be 1 inch. So all I need to do is lay my ruler out here and make 1 inch mark at every 1 inch along that horizontal side, and then I need to make those same 1 inch divisions along the horizontal, so we have 1 inch marks on the vertical and the horizontal. Then all I have to do is come in, make those marks. Again, if you look up here in the exercise, they're nice, dark, visible lines. Draw them over, keep them neat, please. Draw those. And I can use my T-square and my 60/30. To make those divisions. Nice even 1-inch squares. And that's part 1 of drafting plate B3. Part 2 will consist of showing you how to take this 4-inch square and divide it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 horizontal pieces and 1, 2, 3 vertical pieces to complete the brick pattern. Then we'll move on and we'll use the same process to do the 5 divisions in the 1-inch square on this side. Okay, the next step on drafting plate B3, we're going to jump back over to exercise number 1. If you look up at the example, we have to reproduce this brick pattern in our 4-inch square. If you count them, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 horizontal divisions. The way that we're going to accomplish those 9 horizontal divisions in this 4-inch square is we're going to take our ruler, take our drafting scale, and we're going to put the 0, line it up on the top horizontal line. It's important to remember, if you're making horizontal divisions, you'll see that this idea will help you when you get over to the second exercise. You're going to line up the 0 on your top horizontal line, and then we're going to pivot the ruler over, the drafting scale, pivot the drafting scale over to the 4.5 line mark on the bottom horizontal line. So we got the 0 on the top horizontal line, the 4.5 at the bottom horizontal line, and then all we have to do is slide down the scale and make a small horizontal mark at every 1/2 inch. When you have that complete, you're going to see that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines, but those 8 lines will give us our 9 divisions that we need. When you get those marks done, all you need to do is come back with your pencil and your T-square and draw those lines in. This is pretty simple. Just make sure that you keep those lines nice, clean and crisp. Okay, the next step that I'm going to do on mine is I'm going to put in this center line. That's the easiest one to do. If it's a 4-inch square, obviously center line is going to be at 2 inches. I know that's going to be a vertical line, so I'm going to make my little mark vertically there, the 2-inch mark. I'm going to use my T-square and my angle, and I'm going to come in. Now you have to be really careful here, because you got to make sure that you put the line in the correct location. We're not going to put it in the top one. We're going to put it in the second one down, and then we're going to skip every other one as we go down, and it should end up looking like that. The next thing that we have to do, we have to make 1, 2, 3 vertical divisions in our 4-inch square. We're going to do that the same way we did the horizontal divisions. Remember, we lined up the 0 and the 4.5 on the horizontal lines. Well, this time we're going to slide the 0 over to this vertical line on the left-hand side, and we're going to line up the 4.5 on this vertical line. That's the tricky part, remembering if you're making horizontal divisions, you want to line up on the horizontal line. If you're making vertical divisions, you want to line your ruler up on the vertical lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up here, and I have done some kind of calculating ahead of time, and I know that this 4-inch square divided 3 times, I can mark it at every 1.5 inches, and another 1.5 inches, and that'll give me 1, 2, 3 equal divisions. Well, while I'm here, I can go ahead, because I know that on this same breakdown, on the second breakdown here, I'm going to need a 1/2 brick pattern laid out on that second run, and I can calculate from this first one. If I know 1 full brick pattern was 1.5 inches, if I just count back 1, 2, 3/4, which is 1/2 inch, I know that that mark is there where my half brick pattern is, and I can do the same down on the lower one. 1, 2, 3/4, and then I have the half brick pattern on this side. Then after you have all the marks, and you have to be really careful and make sure you draw the lines in the correct place, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make these and these vertical marks on the 2 1/2" lines that I had there. Make sure that everything is squared up. And I'm going to come in and draw a line. Be careful. You only want to draw it on every other breakdown. There. Slide it across. And I'll go here. When I get these done, you can see that I'm almost there. I'm almost completed. There we go. So we have this area of our pattern completed. Now we have the marks laid out for these. All we have to do is come in on that line and draw our half brick in there. You can see how that completes that row. Slide over to this side, and we'll do our half bricks on this side. We'll finish up there, and now we have that one done. A little tiny bit of cleanup. Draw our lines back in that I erased, and that exercise is complete. And the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to slide over to the second half of B3, and we're going to use the same method that we used on the first half of B3. Only on the horizontal divisions, we've got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions in a 1-inch square. You have to think of each one of these squares as its own little activity. I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to line it up to 0. The way we did over here, we did the 0 and the 4 1/2.